Okay, guys, I want to delve in just a little bit deeper on distinguishing truth from superfluous truth, okay? Distinguishing the truth from the dual nature of this construct, of this manipulation, of this illusion that has been created in order to enslave us. And living in that kind of truth keeps us on the hamster wheel, because it's a created truth. It's a false truth. It's a superfluous truth. Why even bother with that truth if we don't have the one truth down yet? If we don't have that foundation of what truth actually is. So on this board I have truth on this side, fantasy on this side. This is what's true. And this is the foundation of our truth. We are whole, powerful, intuitive, empathetic souls connected to an extremely advanced biological avatar, innately connected to all things. Okay? Now, that is so easy to say and to just sit there and go, okay, yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, sounds about right. Well, I guess so. Let's break that down, because this right here is all we need. So if we're just going, yeah, I guess that's true. Okay, time to go find knowledge, right? Okay, time to go live my life. Time to go back to work. Time to go make money. Time to eat processed foods. Time to kill animals and eat animal flesh, right? Let's go back to this. You can't get anywhere without first knowing this. If you try jumping over into the illusion, into the matrix, without having this as a foundation, you are wide open and susceptible to, you are a mindless minion. You are a controlled pawn. You are at the whim and mercy of the matrix, to be used by the matrix and utilized at any given moment for whatever the matrix needs and energy wants are. Okay, so the truth is we are whole. What does whole mean? A thing that is complete in itself. Whole means a thing that is complete in itself. Means nothing. It's complete. We are whole. A whole, powerful, means having or producing great force or energy. This whole world, everything that exists in it, is nothing but energy. We are powerful. Having or producing great force or energy. Okay? Intuitive, readily learned or understood. Knowing. We already know. We are intuitive. We know all that we need to know. We might not know all this stuff that you got to go to college and get a degree for, and you got to fucking be taught all the superfluous horse shit, right? We may not know that. There's no need to know that. This is all fantasy over here. We know everything we needed to know. Everything outside of what we know is horse shit. It's a game. It's a manipulation. It's part of an illusion. Fantasy. Empathetic, an ability to understand and share the feelings of others. We are connected in that way. Language is a construct. Language, whenever the Matrix laid down this vocabulary programming, this spelling program, it's all spelling, it all goes by gematria, it all feeds into the system, it all feeds energy into the Matrix, okay? We are empathic. We had no need for speech. I am just now starting to clear things out, get the fog raised enough to be able to formulate into words things that empathically I could send a whole encyclopedia of what I'm trying to say. My whole encyclopedia videos I did, I could just send empathically to somebody. They would know exactly, without all the ums and the ahs and the pauses and the hums they would know immediately, clear as day, without language. Language is a barrier. It's all a construct. It's to make this, turn this and us into having to be these physical beings using these means of communicating that are unnatural. Okay, so we are whole, meaning complete in itself, powerful, having or producing great force or energy, so extremely, extremely energy and forceful, intuitive, already understood and all-knowing, empathetic, and the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. We automatically know through our intuition and empathy. Souls, forever souls that never die, connected to an extremely advanced biological avatar. This body, this human body, every part of it, the eye, the way the skin works, the way we heal, the way we see with our eyes, the way our taste works in conjunction with our nose, the way our organs work, the way our brain works, is so highly advanced that the matrix system has all its little religious scientists and all its little experts and all these idiots out there running around trying to recreate everything that we see out here that's created is recreated after the human system. So we are complete souls, all-knowing, empathetic, able to connect with all other souls, all other beings, occupying the most extremely advanced biological thing on this planet. Think about that, guys. Think deeply. Let that resonate. Biological avatar, innately connected to all things. Innately. It came with us. We didn't have to learn it. We were innately. Everything since the day we were born has been stripping us of this. All programming that we're under, all of our belief systems, all of our thought processes, everything has stripped us of this and made us feel inadequate, defective, unable, stupid, retarded, not enough, right? Inadequate is a perfect word for it. What do I do with my phone, goddammit? I just had my phone here, sorry. All right. I want to read one thing before I get over to this fantasy land over here. Before our white brothers arrived to make us civilized men, we didn't have any kind of prison. Because of this, we had no delinquents. Without a prison, there can be no delinquents. We had no locks nor keys, and therefore among us there were no thieves. When someone was so poor that he couldn't afford a horse, a tent, or a blanket, he would, in that case, receive it all as a gift. We were too uncivilized to give great importance to private property. We didn't know any kind of money, and consequently the value of a human being was not determined by his wealth. We had no written laws laid down, no lawyers, no politicians. Therefore, we were not able to cheat and swindle one another. We were really in bad shape before the white men arrived, and I don't know how to explain how we were able to manage without these fundamental things that, so they tell us, are so necessary for a civilized society. That was John Fire Lame Deer of the Sioux Lakota tribe, 1913 to 1976. So before we came and introduced materialism and consumerism to these peaceful people and wiped out their whole culture, their whole society, stole all their lands and put them on little fucking reservations and turned them into alcoholics and drug addicts and mental patients. Before we did all that to them, they lived in peace. There was no thievery. There was no money. There was no material possessions. Nobody went without. Everybody supported and helped each other. They didn't even know what these things were until the white man came along. And the white man, the black man, the Chinese man, whoever, all the people who came and invaded this motherfucker. So that's something to keep in mind as we go over here from what we know to be true to all our programming in Fantasyland. In Fantasyland, they want you to believe you're an apex predator. Again, I've said this many times. If we're apex predators, there's no reason why any of us would be sitting in our homes not clawing and fighting to get to the top. To steal, pillage, rape, and just cause utter chaos to get what we wanted. And then these idiots out there who justify and excuse the Matrix and go, well, that's why we have laws. That's why we have 100,000 laws on the book to keep us safe and people in line. God damn it. You really think that's going to keep an apex predator in line, a bunch of laws? If you tell a lion, hey lion, you're not allowed to do this. Well, that's why they have fences. You got to do what you got to do to contain the savage. Sounds a lot like what they said when they fucking killed all these peaceful Indians and pushed their fucking fantasy land onto them and told them that that's the only way to live, doesn't it? Do you see how this framework, this mind framework, this mental slave framework operates? By getting you to believe in their lies and in their fucking bullshit and in their material possessions and in their fucking material world and in their money. It's very simple, guys. If you're an apex predator, yeah, kill 100 billion land animals a year. Why not? Shit, I'm an apex predator. I need fucking meat, bitch. Right? Do you see how they're getting us to separate from our humanity voluntarily by enjoying the life of an apex predator? By consenting to billions upon billions, countless millions every day, being completely slaughtered, pumped full and injected full of hormones and antibiotics and everything else, living in fucking inhumane conditions. Slaughtered before the age of 2 years old for cattle when they lived to 25. Being force bred. These farmers sticking their hands up in these fucking things and they're fucking cunts and assholes and fucking getting them pregnant. Does any of this seem natural to you? No, it's not. It's all fantasy land. It's all to separate you through your consent from your humanity. Knowledge seeking. Again, intuitive. We instinctively know. It was built into us. We know. But what has the program done since day one? Our parents treated us like dumbass little retards. Look, this little motherfucker doesn't know how to eat, doesn't know how to sleep. He doesn't, man, I put him in his fucking crib and he cries. He got fucking teach this son of a bitch. Right? And then send us off to state indoctrination centers where they ensure that we're complying and testing to be obedient and that we're memorizing all the bullshit, all the indoctrination, right? The whole knowledge-seeking game, it's a game, guys. It's a virtue-signaling, egotistical rabbit hole that a lot of people say they're on their healing journey, they get stuck in. And everything, all your knowledge-seeking, all your going outside yourself to learn things outside of yourself, everything that you think is outside of yourself, it's all still contained in that mind slave box. The Matrix doesn't give a fuck what you learn about anything, about the truth. It just wants you not focused on this truth. As long as you're focused on all the truth outside of you and not all this extremely powerful force of energy that you contain within you, and accepting that and realizing that's all that matters, it doesn't care what you go out there. Because everything you go out there to learn, it doesn't matter all the conspiracy and all the truth and the esoteric knowledge. I got all this esoteric knowledge. I've read it all. It's all contained within the mind slave box. It's all fantasy. It's all a game. History's written by the winners. Every single bit of it. Sin. How do you see this, if left alone in its natural essence, able to sin? It's not. A healed, whole person that hasn't been damaged, traumatized, abused, and kicked into survival mode knows nothing of sin. It would never ingest poisons. A whole, healed person that loves itself, cares about itself, and lives in truth, fact, and reality is not going to purposely ingest poisons into any part of its body, more or less its fucking mind. Sin doesn't exist except for in their fantasy land that they created. And then through their religion, they gaslight you and tell you that you were born sinful, that it's on you. You must repent and ask this invisible, fucking, all-loving, all-knowing God who doesn't do anything for billions of people that are suffering every day on this earth in unbelievable circumstances, doesn't do a goddamn thing for them because it's their fault. And then they get their little Christian followers to go, oh, yeah, they're not Christians, It's sickening. Excuses and justification, all the excuses and justification that you guys have for living in fantasy land. All the excuses and justification that you guys have for living in fantasy land is due to your cognitive dissonance and having to double down on justifying and excusing why you behave, think, and believe the way that you do in order to keep yourself in your mind slave box, because coming out of that is extremely scary and dangerous. Again, and the reason you're afraid to come out of that fucking box is because it reminds you of when you were a child. See, you haven't done your child work. You haven't healed your childhood trauma and abuse. You haven't faced the fact that your parents were agents of the state. You haven't faced the fact that even though your parents acted nice to you, all their job was that they did, the only thing your parents accomplished was raising a good, obedient, compliant slave in the system. That is it. You want proof? Look at yourself. Playing the money game, playing the materialism game. Perfect mind slave. Good job, parents. Excuses and justification. Again, when I tell people, I say, we don't need to eat. We don't need a house. We don't need a car. People go, he's crazy. He's lost his mind. I'm not. I'm just going off what the base truth of what we are and what we were sent here with. And I'm recognizing and accepting things for what they are, no matter how much the truth hurts me to know. And even though I don't have the far out answers, well, how do you live without food? How do you live without a house? How do you live without all these things? I know what to do today to start making the decisions to heal, to reclaim this birthright, to reclaim my essence, to reclaim my authenticity. And I know what's not included in that authenticity. By striving and only desiring that authenticity and that wholeness, again, I know what is completely opposite of that. I know. I don't have to go out there and I don't need approval. I don't need validation. I don't need somebody to pat me on the back and go, oh, it's okay. Be easy on yourself. I don't need somebody to do that for me. I'm getting rid of fear, lack, desire, worry, because all that's over here. I'm recognizing there's no room for any of that over here. Now, can I go out right now and just stop eating, just right off the bat, stop eating, get out of my house, and fucking go walk out in the woods and fucking, what am I doing? No, I can't. This is a process. It took 42 years of my life to fucking make this goddamn ego that ruined this physical avatar. It's going to take more than a fucking year, more than 2 years for me to fucking figure this out and get on, heal and get where I need to be. So I'm patient with myself. But I'm not going to sit here in the meantime bamboozle myself and say, yes, we do need food. Yes, we do need a house. No, I'm establishing facts. I'm establishing reality. No, we don't need any of that horse shit. But it doesn't scare me that I don't have the answers yet. Because every day that I fucking am using my will and my fucking trusting in myself and doing my healing, every day those answers become clearer and clearer to me. Beyond a shadow of doubt, with no fear or worry or anything. Needs, desires, wants, sort of wraps up into the same thing. Fantasy, there's no room in here. We were whole. We were born whole, guys, in the most advanced biological thing on this earth, connected to everything. We are in need or desire or want for nothing in our natural state. This is all construct. This is all was all imbued into us. This is all programmed into us. It's all indoctrination. It's all for a purpose. It's for an evil purpose. It's for a predator. This is what a predator does. A predator makes you think you need them. They build the want. They build the necessity for themselves. That way you can't get rid of them, and then they can feed off of you your whole life. They're a parasite. They're parasites. Just like when you eat processed food, or you eat cooked food, or you eat animal flesh, you get, for each types of foods, you get a certain bacteria in your gut, in your digestive system, that helps you break that stuff down, and those things live inside of you, and they send those signals to your brain telling you, I need more. And you don't think, when you feel like that, you're not going, oh, fucking parasite's talking again. Hold on, parasite, you don't need to eat every 4 hours, Mr. Parasite. We don't think like that. That thing sends that signal to our brain, and we go, oh, like the good host we are, and we go, oh, feed me, feed me. We react, guys. We're living in reaction mode. In Fantasyland, you behave in a reaction mode. Over here is critical thinking. Over here is knowing. Over here is the illusion of critical thinking. Over here is the illusion of reasoning, all within the mind slave box, all within a specific set of parameters. You're allowed to think, just don't go outside of what we've taught you. Culture, society is also a fantasy, 100% fantasy. We're all, if every single human is this, then how do we have cultures and societies? They're constructs from ego. From people going, well, this is how I think, who's with me? And then having a group of people, and then they establish fucking traditions in their own society. And they come with their own laws, and they say, well, if you want to be a part of us and have all the benefits, this is what you must do. You got to give up all of this over here and now conform to our fucking mind slavery, whatever version that might be. Culture, society, complete bullshit. That goes with all the what we see as family and friends groups and associate groups and all that, all construct, all bullshit. All your family is complete bullshit, because all your family is just minions of this matrix. That's all they are. It's not a real family unit. They are fucking minions of the matrix that are just satisfying their desires, wants, needs, egos. They're scared. They're lonely. They have all these issues, right? That's not family. That's not the human family. Work and jobs. Work and jobs is another part of the fantasy. If we're whole, needing nothing outside ourselves, completely powerful, the work jobs all. Let's just get through the rest of these right here. Work, jobs, material possessions, and money all go together. They create the illusion you need all this: the house, the car, the fucking fridge, the 12-bedroom, the 3 bathrooms, the fucking dog, the animals to take care of, the fucking big screen TVs with all the subscriptions to all the channels and the, everything else. I mean, there's so many things people own and make monthly payments on nowadays. It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing that people are even able to still operate anymore. And it's the only reason they are is because they've completely come away from what it means to be human and step completely into the matrix and downloaded on the program. They're just automatons. They're minions. They're just consumerists. They're materialists. They're dead inside. They're just complete reactionary beings, playing a character, playing a role, playing a game, participating in the drama that they're addicted and loving. And that's all they know, and they could never live without the drama. Oh, which brings us to our last one, drama. Drama is all fantasy. Drama is all ego. Drama is all me, 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 me. Look what I'm going through. I'm happy now. Oh, I'm sad. Oh, I'm hurting. I'm in pain. Oh, be empathetic. Can't you feel my pain? Oh, don't say those mean words. Oh, and they virtue signal, right? They don't do any real change. They virtue signal. Anything good they do, they have to talk about it and let everybody know. Because they're rotten inside. They're dying inside, if not almost dead. They have to create that drama. They got to get, because that drama creates a chemical reaction in our brain. All emotions create a chemical reaction in our brain. And just like any drug, you can get addicted to that chemical reaction. It's the same thing for people who are in abusive relationships. They get out of one, they go to another. They get out of that one, they go to another. They get out of that one, they go to another. It's not by chance. Some people are just literally physically addicted to being abused. And even though they moan, whine, and complain about it, they're addicted to it. They're addicted to, because they can't get that chemical rush in their head that they're addicted to from anywhere else. Before we go back over here, actually, let's go back over here real quick, and then we'll wrap this up. So the truth is, the only truth I know, that I know 100% for a fact, is that we are whole, meaning complete in and of itself, needing nothing outside itself, powerful, having and producing great force and energy, intuitive, readily learned and understood. We are all-knowing, empathetic, ability to understand and share the feelings of others. So we are whole, powerful, intuitive, empathetic souls connected to an extremely advanced biological avatar, innately connected to all things. Okay? That's what I know for a fact. And nothing from here correlates over here. This goes complete, it's a complete 180 of this. You can't have both. I want to read this one more time and then I'll close out with this. Before our white brothers arrived to make us civilized men, we didn't have any kind of prison. Because of this, we had no delinquents. Without a prison, there can be no delinquents. We had no locks nor keys, and therefore among us there were no thieves. When someone was so poor that he couldn't afford a horse, a tent, or a blanket, he would, in that case, receive it all as a gift. We were too uncivilized to give great importance to private property. We didn't know any kind of money, and consequently, the value of a human being was not determined by his wealth. We had no written laws laid down, no lawyers, no politicians. Therefore, we were not able to cheat and swindle one another. We were really in bad shape before the white men arrived, and I don't know how to explain how we were able to manage without these fundamental things that, so they tell us, are so necessary for a civilized society. John Fire Lame Deer, Sioux, Lakota, 1903-1976. Think about that, guys. Take care of yourselves.